أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. للرجال نصيب مما ترك الوالدان والأقربون وللنساء نصيب مما ترك الوالدان والأقربون مما قل منه أو كثر. وللنساء نصيب مما ترك الوالدان والأقربون مما قل منه أو كثر نصيبا مفروضا.
الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله. We give thanks to Allah the Almighty for making it possible for us to meet once again to go about with our lesson in inheritance. Our topic for today's lesson is the continuation of last week's topic. That is the shares and the sharers in relation to their conditions. We have the shares that Allah has stipulated in the Quran. No one adds anything to it. No one takes anything out of it. And those who deserve those shares are made mention by Allah the Almighty. And the conditions that will make them deserve those shares are also mentioned. In last week's lesson, we took 2 out of the 3. We looked at the shares, and then we said there are 6. Nothing more, nothing less. The shares stipulated in the Quran are 6. And we made mention that every share has its own sharers, those who deserve that particular share. And we have looked at that one too. What is left is the condition that will make a person deserve a particular share. So the shares are 6, as Quran gave us, as we made mention in our last lesson. Number 1 is what? An-nisfu, that is half. Number 2 is a-rubu'u, that is what? Quarter, 1/4. Number 3 is a-thumunu, that is 1/8. Then number 4 is a-thuluthani, that is 2/3. And number 5 is what? A-thuluthu, that is 1/3. And then number 6 is a-sudusu, that is 1/6. These are the shares mentioned in the Quran, specific shares to particular people. Each and every share has its own sharers. For instance, when we talk of nisf, half, we have 5 people, 5 categories of people who deserve nisf, but in a particular situation. When we come to quarter, we have 2 categories of people who deserve what? Who deserve quarter, but in a particular instance. When we come towards sumun, 1/8, 1 category of people, they deserve it. When we come to third, we have 4 categories of people who deserve it, but in a particular instance. And when we come to 1/3, we have 2 categories of people who deserve it in a particular situation. And when we come to 1/6, we have 7 categories of people who deserve it. As I said earlier, in our last meeting, we talked about the shares and the sharers. In today's lesson, we want to go through their conditions. What will make one deserve a particular share? When does a particular person deserves a particular share? That is condition. That is what they mean by condition. Shurut. We start with nisf, because the shares are 6. Starting by what? Nisf, half. We know we have 5 people, 5 categories of people who deserve what? Who deserve half. And they are what? Az-zawj, that is the husband. Al-bint, the daughter. Bintul ibn, son's daughter, the daughter of a son. And then ukhtu shaqiqa, full sister, blood sister, a sister. A sister from what? The same parents with the disease. And then we have al-ukht li-ab, a sister from the same father with the disease. These are the 5 people who deserve 6, who deserve half of a particular inheritance, of a particular property. So what we want to do now is, when do they deserve this half? When will they get this half, these 5 people? When will the husband takes half of what his wife has left behind? When will a daughter takes half from what her father or her mother will leave behind? When will the son's daughter take half of what has been left behind? And ukhtu shaqiqa, the sister from the same parents with the disease, when is she going to take half of what her brother has left behind? A sister from the same father with the disease, when is she going to take half of what the brother has left behind? This is what we want to look at today. So we start by what? Or we start with the husband. Az-zawj. Mirasu zawj and nisf. The husband inherits half. When he said, Yarisu zawju and nisfa bishartin wahid. The husband requires one condition for him to be able to inherit half of the property of his wife that she left behind. For the husband to inherit half of what the wife has left behind, he requires one condition. If he's able to fulfill that one condition, or if the one condition is found, then the husband will inherit half of what his wife has left behind. And they call that condition adani, non-existence. Non-existence. What do they mean by this? Huwa adamul far'ul warith. What they mean by it is that the wife died without leaving a child. When a wife dies without leaving a child, there the husband deserves half of her property. A simple condition. When does the husband deserve half? That is when the wife dies without a child. Without a child for the wife. Not necessarily from the husband. It could be a child from another husband. Maybe she went into a marriage and the marriage didn't work. Or the wife or the husband died over there. But she has a child with the wife, or the husband, sorry. And she comes to marry this husband. And she dies, and the child is there. So when they say the wife not having a child, it is not necessarily with the husband. It could be with another husband. So the wife is on the focal point. If the wife does not have a child and she dies and she leaves property, her husband deserves half of her property. Her husband deserves what? Half of her property. And when they are talking of children in inheritance, it is not only the children that came from what? Their parents. Even the children's children are also considered as children. So that is why they will say daughter, son's daughter. So that when there is no daughter, son's daughter will stand in for the daughter to inherit just like the daughter will do. Okay. So if the wife has no child, then the husband deserves half of her property. The supporting verse is where Allah said, وَلَكُمْ نِصْفُ مَا تَرَكَ أَزْوَاجُكُمْ. You husbands, you have half of what your wives will leave behind. إِن لَمْ يَكُنْ لَهُنَّ وَلَدٌ. If those wives do not have children. Not if you don't have children with them, no. If they don't have children, either from you or from another husband. So the wife is the focal point here, where the husband deserves what? Half. It is the wife that we are looking at. وَلَكُمْ نِصْفُ مَا تَرَكَ أَزْوَاجُكُمْ إِن لَمْ يَكُنْ لَهُنَّ وَلَدٌ. You deserve half of the property of your wife if she has no child. If she has no child. So example of it, a wife dies and she leaves behind her husband and her uncle. She leaves behind her husband and her uncle. That is the only heirs she left behind. Here, when the scholars come, they will look at what Allah has done for these people. Who are the sharers among the heirs? Who are the residuaries among the heirs? And when we talk of residuaries, we are talking of people who take everything when they are alone, or they take the remainder when they are with sharers. So here, when we look at it, we see sharers here. We have only one share, only one sharer, and that is the what? The husband. And we have uncle, who is not a sharer, but a residuary. So the husband will take what? Half, because the wife has not left a child. What she left behind is her husband and her uncle. So here, the husband deserves half. The remaining half is called remainder as far as inheritance is concerned. So the uncle will take the remainder, even though it is half, but it will not be mentioned as half in the inheritance because he is not a sharer. He is a residuary, somebody who takes everything when he is alone, or when there are sharers and they take their shares. The remainder, he takes it. So here, the husband is a sharer. He has taken his share. So the remainder, even though it is half, but it is called remainder, al-baqi. Then the uncle will take that al-baqi. And it goes like that. Whenever there is an instance of this nature, a wife dies without a child, and there is husband. The husband deserves half, no matter who is there to inherit that wife. Once she has no child, the husband deserves half of what she will leave behind. Number 2, al-bint. We come to the daughter, the second category of people who deserve half of a particular inheritance, but with condition. Category number 2, al-bint, the daughter of the deceased. she deserves half. When? They said, Al-bintu wa tarithu nisfu bi shartayn. The daughter deserves half of the property of the deceased with two conditions. Two conditions must be found before she will take half. What are the conditions? Ash-shartul awwal. Condition number one, Adamul mu'assib wa huwa akhuha. The situation should be that she is only one, she is alone. She has no brother. Be it elderly one or the younger one, she has no brother. Adamul akh. That is mu'assib. Having no one that will make her strong. In essence, she has no brother. Be it the elder brother or the younger brother. The most important thing is brother. She has no brother. This is one condition. The father dies and leaves behind a daughter without a brother. And the second condition is that Adamul Musharik. She has no sister. Al-Musharik here is partner. She has no partner. And who is that partner? Ukhtuha. She has no sister. Be it the elder or the younger. So these are the two conditions a daughter needs to inherit half of the property of her father. She must be alone. What does it mean that she must be alone? She has no brother, no sister. Or she has neither brother nor sister. She is alone. That is the meaning. So she will inherit half of the property of her father if she is alone. Only one daughter. She deserves what? Half of the property of her what? Of her father. Allah said it clearly. يُوصِيكُمُ اللَّهُ فِي أَوْلَادِكُمْ لِلذَّكَرِ مِثْلُ حَظِّ الْأُنْثَيَيْنِ فإن كن نساء فوق اثنتين فلهن ثلث ما ترك وإن كانت واحدة وإن كانت if the daughter واحدة is only one فلها النصف and she deserves half of the property her father has left behind. And the second condition, what supports it is that is where Allah said, فَإِن كُنَّ نِسَاءً فَوْقَ اثْنَتَيْنِ. If the heirs are females from 2 and above, not above 2, no, from 2 and above, فَلَهُنَّ ثُلُثَ مَا تَرَكَ. Their share is 2/3 of what has been left behind. Their share is what? 2/3. So if she is one, only one, she deserves what? She deserves half. But if they are 2 and above, then they take 2/3 and share among themselves. So the condition is that the daughter should be alone, without brother or sister. Because if she is with her brother, she will not inherit half anymore. She is going to be the partner of what? Her brother. Or she is going to be somebody that the brother will what? Will strengthen. The brother will pull her, then she will come to the brother, then they will inherit by way of 2:1 ratio. That is what we always say, or normally say, لِلذَّكَرِ مِثْلُ حَظِّ الْأُنْثَيَيْنِ. If she has a brother, that is the way the inheritance will go. The brother will take 2 of what she will take, double of what she will take. But if she is alone, she will take half. If she is with her sister, they will take 2/3 and share it among themselves equally. So if she has brother, the inheritance will change. If she has sister, the inheritance will change. If she is alone, that is where she is inheriting what? Half of what the father has left behind. I hope I'm making sense. Number 3, the third category, who deserve half but on condition. Bintul Ibn, the son's daughter. The son's daughter, that is granddaughter. But the granddaughter should come from a male, not from a female. A granddaughter from a female is from another family. Because your daughter goes to marry in another family. Then she gives birth for them. So whatever she gives birth to, male or female, is for what? Is for that family. But your son brings in a wife in the family. And the wife comes to give birth for the family. So whatever she gives birth is for the family, be it male or female. So when we talk of what? Granddaughter that inherits in a particular family, we are talking of that particular family. A daughter in that family, not a daughter in another family. So the daughter's daughter is for another family. But the son's daughter is for the family. It's for a particular family. I hope it's very clear. So the son's daughter, the category number 3, they deserve half of what the grandfather has left behind. But on condition, how many conditions does she require to fulfill this half? They say, وَتَرِثُ النِّصْفُ بِثَلَاثَةِ شُرُوطٍ. Bintul Ibn, the son's daughter, needs 3 conditions for her to be able to inherit half of the property that is left behind. Number 1, Adamul Far'ul Warith. It should be that there is no child for the disease. There is no child for the disease. Either he has not given birth or they all died. So there is no child to inherit, direct child, biological child to inherit the disease. Then the son's daughter comes in to inherit. The child's daughter or the son's daughter comes in to inherit her what? Her grandfather or a grandmother. So Adamul Far'il Waris, that is number 1, condition number 1. For the son's daughter to inherit, there shouldn't be what? A child for the disease. That is Adami. And number 2, Adamul Mu'assib. She shouldn't have a brother. It means she has to be alone. And number 3, Adamul Musharik. She shouldn't have somebody that will share with her. That is her sister. So you can see 2 conditions for daughter is added to the conditions for who? For the son's daughter. The main condition for the son's daughter is that there shouldn't be a child for the disease. If there is a son for the disease, son's daughter does not come in. If there is a daughter for the disease, son's daughter does not come in, except in a rare situation where she comes and takes something. But when the daughter is there, the son's daughter goes back. She comes in or she comes to the front when there is no one, there is no child for the disease. Then she comes to what? To inherit, just like a daughter will inherit. A daughter deserves half when there is nobody, when she has no brother or sister. So the son's daughter will also come in when daughter is not there to inherit half if she has no brother or what? Or sister. If she has no brother or sister. The same conditions for the daughter is the same condition for the son's daughter, including one, that the daughter shouldn't be there, shouldn't be existing. So that is when the son's daughter will come in. But if the daughter is there, the son's daughter will go back. I hope I'm making sense. So these are the 3 conditions for the daughter, for the son's daughter to inherit half. You go to number 4, Ukhtu Shaqiqa. Ukhtu Shaqiqa. Full sister, blood sister, a sister from the same parents with a disease, with her brother. She deserves half. When? They give us the conditions. They say she needs 4 conditions to be fulfilled before she will get half. Before she takes half. 4 conditions. What are the conditions? Number 1, Adamul Far'ul Waris. The disease, her brother, should be somebody who has no child. Lack of child for the disease. That is number 1. Because if there is child, and the child is what? Is let me say, is a male, she will not inherit anything. But if she is fortunate and the child is female, that is why she will get something. After the female has taken her half, she will take the remainder. So it should be that there is no child for the disease. That is 1. 2, Adamul Asl min al-Dhukur. Second condition is that the deceased father or their father is no more. Their father is no more. Because if the father is existing, the sister will not inherit anything. Because whatever the father takes goes back to the children. So there's no way they will inherit. They will inherit with their father. So the brother is dead. Her full brother is dead. For her to inherit the brother, half of what he will leave behind. Number 1, the brother should not leave behind a child. Or it should be that the brother has not left behind a child, be it male or female. If it is male, she will not get anything. If it is female, the female will take a share, that is half, and then she will take the remainder. Condition number 2, it should be that the father of the deceased or their father is no more. Because if the father is there, there's no way she's going to inherit. Number 3, Adamul Mu'assib. She shouldn't have a brother. She should be alone. Number 4, Adamul Musharik. She shouldn't have a sister. She should be alone. Because if she has a brother, then they are going to take whatever is left and share in the ratio of what? 2:1. She will not get half anymore. And if she has sister, they are going to take 2/3 out of what is left and share it equally. So for her to get half, she needs what? 4 conditions. 1, there is no child for the disease. 2, there is no father or their father is no more. And number 3, she has no brother. Number 4, she has no sister. She is alone. That is what is meant. She is alone. So the first 2 are the main conditions. The main conditions. There shouldn't be a child. There shouldn't be the father. Then the last 2 are the normal ones. She should be alone, without a brother, be it the elder or the younger, and without a sister, be it the elder or the younger. So if she is able to what? To amass all these 4 conditions, that is where she will be what? She will be, it is appropriate. That is where it will be appropriate for her to what? To inherit half. Half. There's no child for the disease. The father is no more. She has no brother. She has no sister. Meaning she is alone. She will inherit half. And the last one, that is Ukhtul Li'ab, a sister from the same father with the disease. A sister from the same father with the disease. She also deserves half, but with 5 conditions. 5 conditions. Let's look at them. 5 conditions. Number 1, there shouldn't be a full sister to the disease. Because if there is a full sister for the disease, half sister will not come in. For the half sister to come in for inheritance, there shouldn't be what? Full sister. In other words, for a sister from the same father to come and inherit the deceased brother, there shouldn't be what? A sister from what? The same parents. If the sister from the same parents of the deceased is there, the sister from the same father with the disease will not come in. So this is condition number 1. That there shouldn't be what? The sister from the same parents with the disease. That is where the sister from the same father comes in. That is condition number 1. And condition number 2, that brother, that deceased brother, should not leave behind what? A child. There is no child that he left behind. And condition number 3, there is no father. Their father is gone. And condition number 4, this sister, who is from the same father with the disease, should be alone. There shouldn't be a brother, and there shouldn't be a sister. That is the 5. Oh, these are the 5 conditions. Those are the 5 conditions. Lack of what? Full sister. Lack of child for the disease. Lack of father for the disease. Lack of brother for the what? Sister. And lack of sister for the sister. So what it means is that the sister must be alone. She is the only heir. She is the only heir. That is where she deserves what? Half. So if we look at all the heirs that deserve half, you can see that there's a condition regulating their what? Their share. The husband. There shouldn't be a child for the wife before he will be able to what? Inherit. That is 1. The daughter, they say that she requires 2 conditions. Number 1 is what? She shouldn't have a brother. Number 2 is what? She shouldn't have a sister, meaning she should be alone. The son's daughter. The son's daughter takes the same condition of the daughter. She shouldn't have brother or sister, in addition to not having daughter in those who inherit. There shouldn't be the daughter of the deceased. That is where the granddaughter comes in. So number 4, sister of a deceased person. She should be alone. But there are 2 main ones. That disease, that brother should not have what? A child that he left behind. There shouldn't be father that he left behind. These are the 2 main ones. And the 2 remaining ones are that the sister should be alone, without a brother, without a sister. And the same thing applies to what? Sister from the same father. First and foremost, there shouldn't be a sister from the same parents. And that is where the sister from the same father comes in. That is first condition. And the second condition, there shouldn't be a child. For what? For the disease. And the third, there shouldn't be father. The father shouldn't be what? Existing for the disease. And then number 4, there shouldn't be a brother for the sister, or a sister for the sister. Meaning the sister should be alone, without a brother, without a sister. These are the what? Conditions for these 5 categories of people, for them to inherit half of what will be left behind for their diseased persons. I hope we are clear in all this. The verse that supports the sisters is the last verse in Surah An-Nisa. The last verse in Surah An-Nisa that made it clear that the sister deserves half of what her brother will leave if the brother is to be inherited based on kalala. And kalala means somebody who dies without leaving behind a child or a father. Somebody who dies without leaving behind a child or a father is called kalala. In this instance, the sisters and brothers are those who will come and inherit. If they come to inherit and she's a sister, this is how it goes. She deserves half if she's alone. But if they are 2 and above, they deserve 2/3. I hope and pray this slight example or explanation we've given, people will be following what Allah the Almighty has put in place for us to what? To go into, to learn, understand and finally appreciate the justice in the issue of inheritance in relation to Islam. It's very, very important. So our duty here is to make us appreciate. And before we will appreciate, we need to understand. So I hope and pray that whatever we are saying, we are following it. And I pray to Allah the Almighty to give us good understanding, to understand whatever we are teaching ourselves. Until we meet next week, inshallah. Astaudi'ukumullah. Alladhi la tadhi'u wa da'i'u. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.